Hello there, my name is Justin from Day Night, and today we bring you our list for the top 10 hardest bosses in Elden Ring. We recently did a top 10 hardest bosses across the Souls series, so we figured we would capitalize on that and do lists for each of the individual games. So here is our list for the top 10 hardest bosses in Elden Ring. At number 10, we have Loretta, Knight of the Haligtree. Loretta for me is a difficult boss because I struggle with a lot of the Tree Sentinel type bosses, but she also capitalized on that existing moveset with a plethora of magical barrages as well as attacks to trip you at the end of your rolls. She is built for endgame with endgame health and damage, as she should be, being as she is guarding the Haligtree, which leads you to Malenia. So naturally she is not going to be a pushover, and she makes the list at number 10. At number 9, we have Fire Giant. Fire Giant is straightforward. You charge him on with Torrent, you break the ankle brace, and you try to bleed him as much as you can as you chase him around in circles. I think he's challenging for me because his rolls in the second phase can come out of seemingly anywhere, and they do full health bar damage. But other than that, he's straightforward outside of his abnormalities and randomness. At number 8, we have Commander Niall. I actually don't know how to say his name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The Commander and his two spirit summons to me are very reminiscent of Nameless King with his swings, his endgame damage, and his tells. Couple that with needing to beat his two goons before fighting him, and they are no joke either. And this easily cements the Commander at number 8. At number 7, we have Godfrey / Horah, the first Elden Lord. His first phase is nothing too serious if you've mastered his Phantom version before Lendale turns to ash. However, his second phase is where this fight really kicks it into high gear, as all of his attacks can be game-ending for you. He is incredibly aggressive, he has very small windows of attack, leaving you constantly asking the day-old question, is it my turn yet? A wonderful boss fight to say the least, but also very challenging at number 7. At number 6, we have the Godskin Duo. They barely missed the top 5 with the Elden Ring's day-old question along with is it my turn yet? It's the other day-old question of what if there were 2 of them? This boss does not compare to Ornstein and Smo in terms of quality, but it does compare to them in terms of difficulty because holy cow is this boss incredibly challenging if you choose to not use spirit summons or sleep pots. This easily cements them on the list at number 6. At number 5, we have Maliketh the Black Blade, cracking the top 5 because he has seemingly perfected an offensive onslaught for all types of builds. If you are a ranged or magic build, then his first phase is going to be a pushover for you, but his second phase is going to clean your clock with his lightning fast closing speeds and his black flame attacks. Although if you are a melee build, his first phase is going to put you through the ringer, but his second phase might be a bit trivial if you're able to stagger him constantly into reposts. Either way, he is a collection of difficulty for all ranges of builds, and it takes himself to the number 5 spot. Alright, at number 4 we have Mohg, Lord of Blood. I know. I read your comments on the difficulty video about the ability to trivialize his second phase transformation with the Wondrous Physic, or by using Mohg's Shackle to get some free shots on him. I combined both of them and still struggled. I will never claim to be good at these games, however I will claim to love them. I'm not artistically inclined, so doodling is not my thing. Instead, I make lists. I know, incredibly fascinating, right? So in an attempt to preach my passions, I will continue to make these lists over and over again, just as Mohg will continue to kill me over and over again. At number 3, we have Radagon of the Golden Order and Elden Beast. Still, in my opinion, one of the best final boss encounters in the Souls series, as it cranks up the difficulty to a level it needs to be at for it to be cemented as the final boss of the game. Radagon is fierce with his incredibly damaging attacks, incredible closing speeds, and a wide variety of attacks for all types of builds. Not to mention he acts as a drain on your resources heading into Elden Beast, who is incredibly erratic with his attacks, incredibly aggressive with his magical barrages, and constantly combines his attacks into other attacks, making you need to truly master the dodging and defense aspects of his battle. It is a truly remarkable bout and a truly challenging one at number 3. At number 2, we have Dragonlord Placidusax. I would like to formally apologize to everyone in the Elden Ring community and the Souls community. as throughout these lists I contracted an allergic reaction to all dragon bosses, and I was completely blindsided by Dragonlord Placidusax in my most recent playthrough of the game, as he wiped the floor with me consistently enough to propel him from below the honorable mentions up to number 2 of the Elden Ring bosses. If you say difficulty resides in planet-sized health bars, well, Dragonlord Placidusax is nearly double of Dark Eater Midir's. His attacks can consistently one-shot you on most Vigor builds, his attacks are widespread that they cover the entire arena, and his closing speeds are incredibly quick, as his teleports are incredibly erratic, and his beam attack is something in my nightmares. He will forever reside on these lists, and if I ever go back to ranking the top bosses across the entire Souls series, you better believe that Dragonlord Placidusax is going to have a definitive spot on that list. At number 1, to no one's surprise if you've seen the aforementioned video, Malenia Blade of Miquella is our number 1. I said Miquella. Miquella. There you go, chap. I feel as though if you've seen my boss ranking video across the whole series, I don't really need to talk about Malenia. I could just play a clip of her saying, "My name is Malenia, Blade of Miquella," and at least 80% of you will start to spiral into PTSD land. This boss will haunt my nightmares for the rest of eternity, and will probably be the most difficult boss in the entire series for me until they make another game and they just decide to make the boss one-shot you once you enter the arena. You literally cross the fog gate and then it says you died. And that's the only time I'm going to beat this boss. That's it. That's the tweet. Well, there you have it. There is our top 10 most difficult bosses in Elden Ring. If you like what you see and you're new around here, please consider giving that subscribe button the Omega Fist Fire Thorn Punch, as it's free and it really helps us out. And comment down below if you have any content recommendations or if a game you would like us to rank the bosses for. Thank you all so much for coming out today, and we'll see you on the next one.